What's going on, everybody? So today I just want to talk about optimal settings that you're going to want to run in Diablo 4. This game is horribly optimized. It runs like a complete dog water pile of garbage. I mean, it is just so bad, but there are some things that can make it a little bit better and can help you out a little bit, as well as some changes to the actual gameplay of the game. They're going to help you in the actual fights. First off, let's go through each of these tabs here, or at least the important ones, like graphics here. Obviously, for those of you that have done this before, running on lower settings is going to make you a little bit easier to run the game. So I would definitely recommend doing that. But there's actually a little bit of a performance option for the frames per second here. Now, because of this game kind of being super poorly optimized, the drastic, I guess you could say, swaps in frames really slow you down and oftentimes can lock up the game and then crash it. I've noticed this happen a lot of times, and I'm sure many of you else have experienced a lockup and just crashing. And something that's helped out for me has reducing the maximum FPS from 150 to 60, and then the background FPS is 8. Naturally, I bumped this up to, was trying to get to 60, but for some reason, oh, there we go. Bump that up to the same number. If you are consistently able to get to 120, then do 120 if you want. 60 is fine for me, and this allows you to basically not jump massively between frames and provide a potential lockup scenario when you're alt tabbing or things like that, if you happen to do that. So those are for the graphics settings. Then we hop over to the gameplay settings, and this is where some things get really insane. First off, turn off screen shake effects. This is so bad. It'll just, again, cause extra lag when you're fighting in combat. Another really important one, there's two here actually. The advanced tooltips are very important. This displays ranges. So for example here, if I were to open up my inventory, you could see the actual ranges. For example, I have 3% essence cost reduction that can go from 2 to 4.5. If you turn that off, if you turn these off, for example, you no longer see the range that it can be. This is really bad. You really want these options on in order for you to tell what stats you can potentially get and potentially roll to determine whether or not this item is good. Another really important one is item label display. You really want this on toggle. Why? Because if you don't, the item names will slowly disappear after 10 seconds. Now, this might not matter a ton for some of you because you might just pick up the items, but potentially you might miss an item and then the item label is just gone until you hover over it. I prefer to keep it on toggle so that I can always know when these items are active and on my screen. Then we move over to controls, and this is going to be the last tab that I want to talk about here because the other two are mainly for personal preference, things like chat colors, font scales, things like that, or even the social aspects. But in terms of controls, there's two really important settings here that a lot of people miss. The first one is going to be force move. Now, I've bound mine to spacebar. The reason for that is I can force move on spacebar, which allows me to move without left clicking, and that allows me to move through enemies without using my abilities. Very important. The second option is force stop, or force, I guess, what is the actual name of it? Yeah, hold position is what they call it. Force stop or hold position. Now this is naturally bound to shift. What this does, let's say I'm moving here with spacebar, and if I hit shift, what I can do is actually press left click and it will shoot out the ability without any target. If I do not hold left click or shift here, you can see I'm clicking and you can see the little circle on the ground. If I hold shift, boom, I'm instantly stopping to shoot out my abilities. This is very important in conjunction with force move because it allows you to move and then shoot an ability and then continue to kite. This is very useful for a little bit more advanced gameplay in terms of kiting monsters or being able to dodge abilities. So make sure you guys have these options bound because it is very difficult to maneuver in this game without WASD if you guys are used to MMOs. And so with force move and then force stop or hold position, these two are going to massively improve your gameplay. Hopefully this helps, guys. Again, these are pretty basic things. I wanted to make a decently quick video here for you guys to basically help you with some of the crashes or potentially just moving around in the game. If this was helpful, drop me a like, sub to the channel, guys, because I'm gonna have more Diablo 4 content, especially when the game fully comes out, and I will see you all for the next one.